Good evening, everybody, to Belgium at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit for the fifth and final time this week. It is the no assist crazy gang of MRC X-Treme. I am your lead commentator, BitW365, or as my real name is Carl, and alongside me is Tier 3's very own Connor Hardy. Good evening, Connor. How are you doing?
More like tier 4, mate. That would probably be more accurate. But, yeah, not bad. Extreme. It's been a while since I've been on comms for. Well, it's been a while since I've been on comms in general, to be honest. But certainly for Extreme. So interested to see what they are all made of. It's not It's just as cloudy as it was in tier 3 qualifying. I wonder if we're going to have a full wet race as well.
Yeah, whilst we're waiting for some cars to, whilst we're waiting for people to go out on track, how did Tier 3 go for you?
Oh, absolutely beautifully. I qualified in P3. Was having a good first few laps. I was comfortably in P3. Then, unfortunately, a driver tried to overtake me in the process, lost his rear, crashed into my rear wheel, which then sent me flying into a barrier. So, not blaming the driver, no call out, it's not his fault, he lost his rear. But, yeah, that's just sadly what happened.
Finally got a car going out on track. Looks to be an Alpine. And we have Doris, who's the first car going out on track.
An Alpine, just to really annoy them.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah, they're going to hate me forever now, these Alpines. But I'll tell you what though, the Eau Rouge, if it had snow on it, it'd be good for skiing.
Oh, I've seen the pictures of the circuit when it snowed. It is absolutely beautiful, especially, like you say, Eau Rouge and Radion down that hill. That must be one of the most exciting ski slopes you could probably ever see in your life.
The thing is, it probably genuinely is used for a skiing place when it snows, because it's very steep. Like, I mean, F1 cars don't do justice of how steep it is.
Funnily enough, I've actually driven Eau Rouge and Radion backwards, as we have C8 Lou disqualified for blocking the pit lane. Well, so he's going to be starting at the back. Well, staying with Doris on his installation lap as he's first car out on track, and then we'll go for an on-board lap when he gets to the start-finish lane. There's a lot of cars on track, and with I'm wondering, with how long it took at least one car to make it out on track, I wonder if there's possibility of rain or something towards the end of qualifying, because the cars didn't seem to get out very, very quickly, so they were probably looking at setups or something. As we'll go on board now with Doris as he goes across the start-finish line as he heads down towards turn 1 at Les Sources. Nice and tidy through there. Apex careful on the exit with the gravel on the outside now. And then it's the long run down to Eau Rouge and Radion. Nice and tidy up the hill. And then we enter onto the Camel Straight, DRS wide open, foot to the floor as we head down towards Les Combes. As he doesn't take much curve for the first one, but it's nice and tidy still on the way through. And now it heads down towards Rivage. Keeping it nice and tight. Then No Name. Careful of the gravel on exit, and we head towards Pouon as he has to lift a little bit. He's not flat, but nice and tidy, keeping it in track limits. Nice and tidy, keeping away from the curbs a little bit. Careful of the gravel on exit, nice and tidy. Enter Campos, very close to the gravel on exit. Now we're going to be going flat out down to Blanchimont. You get a nice rest time through there. And then it's heavy braking for the chicane, or as most of us still call it today, the bus stop. Back end wants to come out a little bit, and then it's foot to the floor to the line. DRS open as well, and he sets a 1:43.5 to get this session underway. Nice banker lap from Doris.
That was, for a banker lap, that was very ballsy. He was really pushing the limit at certain corners there, like running wide and even touching the gravel, I think it was, out of Campos, so...
Yeah. Moritz a little bit behind at a 43.661 to go second in the Haas.
Very close though, both of them
about a tenth between. Yeah, speaking of that, I've got the list here. We've got 6 Tier 1 drivers taking part. I think it's 8... I think it's 8 Tier 2 drivers looking at the list, because I did see Roddy put his thumb up, but I don't see him on the grid, so I believe that is 8 Tier 2 drivers and only the 3 Tier 3 drivers. So if I'm correct with the new point system, Tier 1 will be racing for a maximum of 25 points. So will Tier 2, but Tier 3 will be only racing for a maximum of 16 because they have less than 4 drivers on that grid.
Yeah, certainly. But,
Smith's just done a 45.1 for his opening lap of the session. It's still currently Tier 2 top 5. Doris, Moritz, Armar, Soze and single track, the top 5 currently in qualifying.
Yeah,
Chris,
I was about to point that out actually.
Yeah, Chris in P6. He's got plenty of pace in him, I would believe that Chris can easily get into the 43, so I expect him to bring that lap time down towards the end of the session. Peninza seems to be a bit all over the place through turn 1, invalidated as well. Let's have a look at a jump to Saviour. He's one of the ones to watch when it comes to X-Treme, constantly up at the front as he goes through Pouon in his Red Bull.
Yeah, these guys are pushing the limits. I bet it's kind of nice for especially the Tier 3 drivers to see a little bit of dry weather, because we literally had I think it was 5 minutes at the start of qualifying where I managed to get my lap in and put it in P3. And then after that, I mean, let's put it this way, I hadn't even completed, it was already raining at the end of my out lap. So...
Well, when it comes to rain throughout this week, X had plenty of it. With obviously, it was only dry for about just a handful of minutes at the start of qualifying in X, and then the heavens opened. The race started in as Saviour goes 42.2, over a second over Doris to take provisional pole. Saviour had some phenomenal pace on Monday, 1 lap pace wise, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's not been that much rain, to be honest, throughout the week for saying it's Belgium, because as I was saying, X had intermediates towards the about so far into the qualifying session, so if you were the first car out on track, you were pretty much guaranteed pole, and G-Star was the biggest benefactor of that one, being the first car out on track. And if you see the start of the X race, you would thought you were taken back to 1998. It was that heavy downpour at the start. I just couldn't help but have a little bit of a chuckle to myself because of the flashbacks of 98 and the carnage. We watched Dan trying to go through the chicane and the car was all over the place. Back end didn't want to behave itself, and he does a 47.3. I'm sure he's got a better lap in the tank. He's not looking the comfortablest at the moment.
I believe he's new to no assist, but really has been trying to learn it.
Yeah, he looks to be trying. He doesn't look very comfortable, but hat off to him to giving it a go, especially after just racing Tier 3 a moment ago as well.
Yeah, he's really improved since he joined the league, even in Tier 3 as well. I believe with Tier 3 he races with some assists, because I mean he wants to stay competitive in that tier, because that's like the tier race. This is just him trying and putting himself out of his comfort zone. But he has come a long way in tier 3 this season as well. Like he started off quite I would say towards the back, but recently he's moved forward quite considerably. He's now a comfortable top 10 driver, so yeah, he's impressive.
So slowly, gradually moving his way up the grid, which is pretty much the aim at the end of the day for most of us. We want to slowly progress and get better.
I don't know what progression is.
Well, you've come quite, what's the word, stagnant the last couple seasons, really, haven't you?
I'm not sure stagnant is the word I'd use. I would say, I can't say the word on stream. It starts with S and it's a 4-letter word. You can work it out for yourself.
Yeah, but, we could do the maths. We could do the maths and the English at the same time.
If you think about it, you'll get it quite quickly. But
yeah.
No, you know, this season I've had a lot more pace than I have in previous seasons. I haven't shown it points-wise, but I've had a lot of bad luck, let's say. Especially today, I was in a podium position and, you know, the bad luck struck. But I'm trying to get my head down. I'm talking to people with experience and they're helping me with setups, because I just can't get setups on this game. Like,
I'm in when it comes. Yeah, I'm in the same boat when it comes to setups. I'm not really sussed with the setups.
I used to be so good on F122 with setups. Everyone was coming to me. I was so quick constantly on that game at every single track.
We've got a bit of sun starting to break out. Sorry to cut in, Connor. It's getting a little bit brighter now with the sun starting to creep out.
I live in the UK. I don't know what that is. Well,
I know, it's this weird light bulb that tends to switch on whenever it feels like it.
Yeah. When it does come on, it's still frosty outside, so that's just great, isn't it?
Yeah, just been whilst we're talking, just been watching Ants gradually make his way round on his first run. As I think he's done a 47.1, but I believe he's done like a double installation lap, and he's going to give it a go on this second go round. So we're going to stay with Ants for this second run, so it probably will be a flying lap. Tends to do like a double warm up from time to time, so we'll stick with the Mercedes on this one, as he's over a second up, so the double installation lap was what he was doing, so we'll stick with him.
YouTube chat, Martin says, evening guys, C8 Lou's reason for DSQ was wheel wasn't working properly. Mr. El Hojico is in the YouTube chat as well, and Sergeant Uncle Sam says, let's go Saviour, MRC GOAT right there. I believe Uncle Sam was here for a little while, so good.
Yes, that name that name rings a bell. Remember seeing his name on track a few times.
Yeah, I mean, tier 1 and tier 2 for a while.
Yeah, but then again, I've seen many names come and go from MRC with how long I've been a part of it.
Well, the thing is, I'm a grandpa here, right? This is my 12th season. Yeah, you are ancient history.
I'm in that category with like Fabian and Martin, for example, and I'll probably even put Avinash in that list as well, because he's been here from the very early days as well. So there is the ancient category. Is Anton, his second run, has done a 42.9 to go second. So that lap time from Saviour is still looking very good for pole.
I worked out something very, very crazy the other day. I am the 8th oldest member of this league now. And I was like, wow, I've been here 12 seasons, I've been a senior steward for 11, I've been a commentator for 10. Yeah, wild. That's all I have to say, wild. But, no, It's always good fun.
When did I? 20th of December 2020. How sad am I that I know the actual date?
I think I joined August 21, I want to say. I joined peak COVID time.
Yeah, I
Like,
was
during
back.
lockdown.
I was back end of 2020 in middle of December when season 1, Mark, season 1, yes. I believe it was only a few races into season 1 because I just posted something on Facebook and ended up getting a message from Martin at the time who mentioned about the league, and I'd never done sim racing before or whatever, and yeah, tried it, never looked back.
Yeah, I'd never been in a league before this, and I was like apprehensive, and then I realised, okay, I'm not too bad at this, and now I look at it and I'm like, God, I wish I was as good as I was back then. Like, I really do. But, you know.
Speaking of Martin, he's only slightly up on his best lap, but currently in 9th place. He's flashing a little bit, so I wonder if he's probably put a recharge in or backed off. We'll soon see when he comes to the line. And
he definitely pushed that lap.
yeah, slight
slight
improvement. 31,000, stays P9.
The thing is, him and his other tier 2 compatriots like Moritz, Armar, Kaiser, Doris, Singletrack, Lorpy, they're all separated only by about 0.3 of a second, which for a track like this is not much at all.
No, because if you think about it, we had Austria last week, which is arguably probably one of the shortest circuits on the calendar, and we've done a complete 180 in a week, and we're now the longest circuit on the calendar.
Yeah, but it's not the longest in race time.
No, it's not, because I believe... Oh, which
Singapore.
one's... That's it, yeah, Singapore is...
Even with the new quicker track, it's still the longest on the calendar.
Yeah, because before they made the changes, it was at least a 150 lap time round there, Singapore?
I would say 145, similar to Belgium in a... no, I think it was about 140. I think it was about 5 seconds or so less than Belgium. But it wasn't much less, but in terms of distance, it's longer than Belgium. So, yeah.
Well,
but
I think
like Monza's actually in distance one of the longest tracks on the calendar.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it because it's
30, yeah, that's why there's 30-something laps of Monza when you'd never think there should be, because it's like the race feels like it goes really quick.
Yeah.
So.
Whilst we've been talking, the clock's been ticking away, and everyone's now out on track on their very final run. So we'll jump to Chris, who's currently in sector 2 at the moment, just gone through No Name in his Ferrari, had a little lock up at Rivage. Hopefully he can have a nice tidy finish to the lap. He's currently second in the Drivers' Championship, 9 points behind Armar, who's had quite a very good run of form, winning every single race, and then Soze decides to beat him last week, ending Armar's pretty much perfect run of X-Treme.
Well,
So,
don't forget, he won the first ever X-Treme as well, Armar. So
yes, he did. Yeah. He's no stranger to X-Treme, as you say, being the first and opening winner for the tier as Chris comes to the line. Improves to a 42.8. So that first lap from Xavier, that 42.2, no one can get near it. It was a phenomenal lap.
Well, Bobo's about to put it on the front row if he sees his lap out.
Yeah, we'll jump to him then as he's coming to the final two corners.
Oh, he's got a bit deep at the first part of the bus stop though.
Still looked a bit tidy. Here goes P2, 42.7.
But what's Ant doing?
Yep, Ant's coming through
Blanchimont. He could be on pole here.
Yeah, this is going to be close. He's got to make sure he takes the chicane nice and tight. Save 42.0.
Moment for Ant in the bus stop. Oh,
yeah,
he's ruined it. Oh, that's a shame.
Still an improvement now, but he lost a lot of time.
He's just full on con bottle job, that one. He's gone full Connor out the exit of the bus stop and boom.
Yeah, Lorpy was invalidated and so's Scottish Ninja, so that's qualifying. So Saviour, almost untouchable. 142.061.
That's like Mercedes 2015 to 2020, that is.
Yeah, it's phenomenal pace.
Or Verstappen 23.
Yeah, he's took pole by nearly between 6 and 7 tenths, which is ridiculous.
I tell you what though, there is a genuine chance. Like, he's really stepped up his game this season. He's taken the fight to Ujoni and to
Ben. Yeah, it's a very close three-way tussle in Tier 1.
It's so good to see. Like, we have a genuine. And at first I thought, because you know we know Saviour, especially in recent season, I think he'll be the first to admit this as well. He's been someone that's shown glimpses of pace, but not consistently. Now he's doing it week in, week out, and that's a ridiculous time from him there.
Yeah, so quickly run through the running order for the MRC X-Treme Belgium Grand Prix. Saviour on pole, Bobo second, then it is Chris, then we have Armar, Ant, Soze, Moritz, Doris. Single track, Lorpy rounds out the top 10, then it's Rassam, Baby Hornet, Smith, Peninza, Scottish Ninja, Dan, and rounding off the grid in 17th is C8 Lou, who got disqualified because of a wheel problem and it parked him at the pit exit.
Yeah, not good at all. I'm interested to see. Well, it's
bright sunshine, but do we have any news on what could be towards the end? I'll mention about weather in X-Treme. We had a bone dry Tier 2 and a bone dry Tier 1, so we had no rain at all on Monday. You mentioned there was a bit of rain in Tier 3, and I remember when I was racing Tier 3 a couple seasons ago now, because I've been in Tier 2 for quite a bit since, I can't remember what season it was, I came runner-up to Calvin and got promoted to Tier 2. But I remember a time when Tier 3 was known as the wettest tier in the league, because we had so many races back to back to back that ended up being either full wet conditions or intermediates. It was just wet race after wet race after wet race.
Yeah. No, I mean, Tier 3 this season in particular, we've been fairly lucky. We had a bit of rain last week in Austria towards the end. We had a full, well, it pretty much rained from about 16 minutes to go and qualify into the end of the race. And then that's the only rain I think we've had this season. But I mean, Kota next, you wouldn't really expect to see any rain there.
Well, we don't tend to expect any rain at Bahrain, but when they had testing, there was some light sprinkling of rain then, so anything can happen, really.
Once I was doing, we were doing Abu Dhabi. I don't know if you was Tier 3 at the time, you might have been. But we were doing Abu Dhabi. I think it was the season I finished runner-up to Simba. And we go out into the garage for qualifying, and all of a sudden the heavens opened and it was a wet qualifying in Abu Dhabi. I'd never screamed so loud in my entire life. I was like, this, on average, they get rain 2 days per year in Abu Dhabi.
Don't you just love video games?
Well, no, but I mean, technically, we didn't see it in any other sessions, so that I was one of the 2 days per year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to where the rain and that, the tracks you tend to think of is your Spa and your Interlagos and your Silverstone,
Canada,
Montreal, yeah, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, Singapore as well, because
yeah, we've had a couple in Singapore, which is kind of crazy. Because it's over the neck of woods. It's kind of like almost on the fringes of the Middle East as well. It's not.
I'd probably put Austria on the list as well for possible wet races you'd think of. Oh, well. Suzuka, definitely.
Yeah. Even we've had a couple in Melbourne as well, which is, I know it's kind of wild, but
yeah,
we've had quite a good few in Melbourne. Which year was it? Button, was it 2012? Button won in the wet in Melbourne. I can't remember which year it was. I think it was 2012. Yeah, because it was definitely after his Canada 2011 win. I know that for a fact. But yeah, it's Spa's definitely one where you see a lot of rain.
And when he was on his final run, was distracted by the pole time notification of Saviour.
I was going to say that as a joke. I was going to say as the pole time of Saviour just put him off in the bus stop. But yeah, no.
That's one way to. Hey, at least he has an excuse. You don't tend to have excuses when you bottle it.
I mean, I don't look for an excuse, mate. I embrace the fact that I'm a bottle. I've got my one title. I'm one and done, mate. We can't all be like Chris Bailey and not win any.
Harsh much.
Just true. I don't know why I shot for Chris Bailey there, but yeah, he can take it. Yeah. He shoots from near enough, so.
Yeah, but you can't mess with the Sterling Moss of MRC. I'm sure.
Hodgson. No. No, it's I mean, yeah, one and done in terms of titles. I don't need another one. It's on my resume.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm practically one and done as well. I've had a title to my name, and I don't think I'll get an. Although I did come close when taking the fight to Calvin in Tier 3, but I ain't got another title. Yeah, I won X when the season it was a first brought back, because it was like it was a very short calendar, and we started in Mexico, if I'm correct on that one.
Yeah, we joined like halfway through the season, didn't we? And
yeah,
yeah, that was it. Yeah, because then that was when Scott.
Because
I took it over from Scott 2 seasons later, I think.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I won in Challenger every single race apart from the final 2. Because obviously the final race I was put into Elite, because of obviously already clinching the title in China, I believe, which was the round I clinched it in the penultimate round, and obviously the last race of the season that season was Jeddah, I believe, because the Elite title went down to Chris and Hodge, and the sportsman that he was, because I was in the party with the two of them that night for that race, it was pretty much a unanimous decision to restart the race after what happened with Hodge getting caught up in a collision or whatever it was that day. And we restarted the race that season, and Chris agreed with it, being the sportsman that he is. And after the race was rerun, Hodge went and took the Elite title that season in X as well.
Yeah, because we had that dramatic Jeddah race that got red flagged due to, well, it was a bit of an unfortunate crash, and Chris opted to reset the race because his title rival crashed out and then ended up losing. So Chris basically bottled his own title there.
I mean, Chris did the sporting thing, which you can't really blame him because nobody wants to win a title that way, and we're about to go racing in X-Treme. We're not all. I'm not going to use the word. I was going to say something worse, but obviously, commentating.
That's after 9 o'clock. You might be alright.
I don't know. I've got Tasker. Make sure we Hodge first, but I don't think he'll even run it past. Are we going? Because are we going to get lights?
The lights went out.
Please say we ain't going to have to reset.
I think if it's to be reset now, it might get cancelled or 25% max, but sort of.
Because we've got no lights at all.
It will take way too long.
Yeah.
This might be called.
Oh. I'm frustrated for them. Yeah, because we just got a green track and there's just no lights going on at all. Hodges put in the YouTube that it's being discussed. I believe you're in that, aren't you, as well?
I currently am. I'm in the discussion.
Yeah.
Now. I think for me it should probably be called off, and because by the time a crossplay lobby gets set up.
Yeah, because you got as we were talking before the stream, you have to do it individually because. You were explaining it to me because you do tier 3 and you were explaining that it has to be done one by one at a time instead of in bulk.
The system is, and it's like I said to you, I set up the lobby half an hour earlier than I even used to, and I used to set it up with plenty of time just to be prepared. Now I set it up half an hour even before that because it takes that long to do the invites. It's really. Yeah.
I've got a horrible feeling we're going to have 17 very disappointed drivers in a minute.
No, I think it's going to...
Martin's asking... Martin's put red flag... red question mark. This is not looking good. Because we've been like this for, what, a couple minutes now?
Yeah, red flag.
Ouch. Codemasters and F124 strike again. Oh. Oh, it's fixed it.
Yeah, it's because there's a glitch.
Yeah. It's unfortunate though. So, Hodges put red flag in the YouTube chat as well, so I believe that's it then.
Yeah, it is. I end the stream now.
Yeah, so unfortunately we're not going to have a race here tonight due to technical issues, so that's it from me and Connor. Good night.
It may get rerun, we're not sure
yet.
Yeah,
well, I'm sure we'll keep an eye out in Discord and whatever for it, but unfortunately we're not going to have a race in X-Treme, so possible rerun later in the season. So unfortunately for everyone who wanted to race, we'll be racing Kota as of Friday, which will be 7:30, which is 100% race, if I'm correct on that, Connor.
I don't have a clue, mate, if I'm honest.
But yeah, stay tuned for when we go live on Friday for Kota. and then we'll be
Well,
back for.
we may still go racing tonight. We're not sure yet. That's still
Oh,
being discussed.
oh, it's still being
Let's just
discussed, is
see.
it?
Yeah, that is the red flag for the lobby is definitely still
Yeah.
standing,
So
but the rerun is we could continue racing afterwards. We're not tonight. We're not sure.
yeah.
Yet.
So keep your ears open for when we go if we go live again.